Good evening, folks. I'm back again. This is your shut the fuck up. Now, I'm usually very sarcastic and sometimes talk about these people with a tinge of humor in my voice, but these people are not funny. I promised you I would show you some other people here who are running for public office pursuant to my first video that I did, which focused on the scumbags in the Colorado 4th running for the House, of which Lauren Boebert is at the top of that list. We did that one. Here's the one I owe you. This is not just one state. So let's talk about Arizona first, and a guy named Sonny Borelli. I'm sorry to say he's an Italian. He's embarrassing, and he's a moron. So Sonny said, and he's talking about contraception here, quote, Bear Company invented aspirin. Put it between your knees. He also has suggested that women wouldn't need contraceptives if they weren't so, quote, promiscuous. Shut the fuck up, Sonny, because you couldn't even be original on this one. You stole this from a guy who said the same thing in 2012. His name was Foster Friess. I remember him well because he supported Rick Santorum. And Foster Friess said the same goddamn thing. He said, quote, this contraceptive thing, my gosh, back in my days, they used Bear aspirin for contraceptives. The gals put it between their knees and it wasn't that costly. So old Sonny here, aside from being a misogynist, he couldn't even be original about it. And by the way, I'm taking these from least heinous to most heinous, okay? The second one is actually a woman from North Carolina who is running to run the public school system in her state. So she is saying that, she is facing the most extreme Democratic agenda and she needs to protect the children. But what people don't tell you about Michelle Morrow, except somebody did dig some stuff up, she suggested in 2020 that Barack Obama should be the subject of a, quote, pay-per-view of him in front of a firing squad. I do not want to waste another dime on supporting his life. We could make some money back from televising his death. Yeah. She also suggested several other people should be executed, like Ilhan Omar and North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and former First Lady and Senator Hillary Clinton. She also called for the execution of Anthony Fauci because he was a vaccination campaigner. Now, when she was confronted with all of this stuff, she basically said that she didn't want to discuss it. She only wants to discuss education. She claims to be a lifelong Christian conservative who homeschools her own children. She's been endorsed by the Moms for Liberty. I don't think I need to say any more here. She can shut the fuck up. Now we come to Shane Vaughn, and he's not actually running for office, but he is a pastor of a Pentecostal sect that does not believe in the Holy Trinity, only in God, okay? But I don't think there's anything to do with his evil here, okay? He's a MAGA cultist. He's a total Trump supporter. And he has literally said the most heinous things about Ketanji Brown Jackson because they are hearing a case and she raised an issue of concern about the plaintiff in the case and what their intention was with regard to the First Amendment. All of that aside, this is what he said. Quote, I can't even believe that stupidity rolled from Jumanji's jungle mouth. It's a Jumanji jungle now on the Supreme Court. He went on, and he continued on, and he stated, quote, see, the problem is Jumanji jungle, Judge Jumanji jungle lips. The problem is it is with this because what's coming out of her lips is monkey sense, not common sense. It's the jungle monkey sense pouring out of your liberal lips, and you are a curse to this nation. You are a rodent in our republic. I mean, I don't know how much more racist you can get. He's a disgrace, and he needs to shut the fuck up, but he's probably not going to because he's a Trump acolyte. And Donald Trump fosters this kind of stuff because he does the same shit and he gets away with it. So anybody who wants to tell you that the First Amendment here isn't wide open, they're lying to you. In other countries, this wouldn't be allowed. In Australia, they've banned the use of the swastika. In the United States, you'd have the ACLU defending your right to use it and display it. Get a clue here. And then we have Mark Robinson, the most heinous of all, who is, by the way, probably going to win the North Carolina governorship. And this guy definitely has no business being in public service. He says, and I quote from the HuffPost in 2020, I absolutely want to go back to the America where women could not vote. Well, does he want to go back to the America where blacks can't vote? Or from when they were hanging from trees on the end of a rope? I'm just, wondering just how far back this guy wants to go. Okay? And that's not the only thing he has said. He has insulted just about everybody. Okay? In a 2017 Facebook post, he trivialized domestic violence by saying, quote, so if someone beats the bird dog hell out of their spouse at the mall, is it still domestic violence? He also shared memes mocking the victims of Harvey Weinstein and Bill O'Reilly. He claims that, quote, feminism was planted in the garden, watered by the devil, and is harvested and sold by his minions, end quote. He also made the declaration that people who support rights for women are, quote, sexist, hairy, armpit-having, poo-poo hat-wearing pinkos. I mean, he called women, he's, at various times referred to women as whores, witches, and rejected drag queens. He calls women who breastfeed in public, quote, shameless attention hogs. He equates the LGBTQ community with filth. He quotes Hitler and defends his quoting of Hitler and says you should be able to quote Pol Pot and everybody else, okay? He's told people to get over the Holocaust. And he says out loud that he does not trust Muslims. And while he's at it, he also believes, let me just read this to you. He says, among other things, that he would not be surprised if 9/11 turned out to be an inside job, or if the 1969 moon landing had been faked. He's seriously skeptical that JFK was assassinated, and the Parkland shooting survivor, David Hogg, is a paid actor. And of course, he has been strongly endorsed by Donald Trump, another self-loathing black man who probably is a millionaire because, quite frankly, all of the black men who support Donald Trump have enough money so that prejudice never hits them. That's the thing in America. If you've got enough money, you're insulated from all that, regardless of your skin color. All right? If you were an average man, an average black man, just a guy who worked at a manufacturing facility, stating that shit, you'd never get away with that. But in Donald Trump's MAGA America, you are free to say whatever you want, apparently. Whether you're a woman like Michelle Morrow, or a scumbag like Mark Robinson, or a fake pastor, a man of God, calling a black woman jungle lips. To tell these people to shut the fuck up isn't enough. These people do not belong in public office. I've only got a few seconds left, so I'm going to sign off. I'll probably talk to you guys again in a day or two. There's more coming.